Philadelphia just made a move that could redefine their season. And honestly, it makes perfect sense when you break it down. Jaylen Phillips joining the Eagles isn't just a trade, it's a statement. Their pass rush this season have been inconsistent, even with Nolan Smith and Brandon Graham returning. There were flashes of brilliance, sure, but overall, the edge position was a weak point that opponents could exploit. Now, with Phillips in the rotation, the Eagles have a lineup that is deep, versatile, and genuinely intimidating. You have Jaylen Phillips, Nolan Smith, Jix Hunt, Josh Uke, and Brandon Graham all sharing the workload at edge rusher. That's a rotation capable of pressuring any quarterback in the league from multiple angles, blending experience, athleticism, and youthful explosiveness in a way that makes planning an offensive game against them a nightmare. What makes this trade particularly savvy is that Phillips isn't just an athlete. They're a player who can step in immediately. He's familiar with the scheme thanks to his time under Vic Fangio, which means he doesn't need months to adjust to a new defensive system. In today's NFL, that kind of readiness is invaluable. When you acquire a player midseason, there's usually a learning curve, installing a new playbook, understanding a new coaching philosophy, building chemistry with teammates. With Phillips, that curve is basically eliminated. He's ready to contribute from the moment he steps onto the field. That plug-and-play capability instantly elevates the Eagles' defensive game plan. Phillips also brings versatility. He can line up both inside and outside, depending on a matchup and the situation, and his unique combination of speed, length, and power allows him to impact plays from multiple spots on the defensive line. Coming off injuries, he has shown an ability to regain explosiveness and disrupt the quarterback consistently. His athleticism allows him to win battles with offensive linemen both on the edge and in the interior, giving the Eagles flexibility to rotate personnel without sacrificing performance. This isn't just a depth addition. It's a dynamic upgrade that changes the way opposing offenses have to prepare. When you look at the numbers, Phillips' recent performance is eye-opening. While recovering from ACL and Achilles injuries, he's still managed to pressure the quarterback at a top-tier rate. Over the past 5 games, he's accumulated a significant portion of his season's sacks and pressures, demonstrating that his skills are returning to peak form. His ability to bat passes at the line of scrimmage with his length, combined with a keen understanding of timing and angles, makes him a constant threat. This is a player who can alter the outcome of a game with a single play, whether it's a strip sack, a hurried throw, or a tackle for loss. Philadelphia's defensive strategy has always emphasized disrupting the quarterback, and adding Phillips fits perfectly into that blueprint. Think about the blueprint the Eagles have used to beat elite quarterbacks in the past. Relentless pressure, forcing mistakes, creating turnovers, and controlling the line of scrimmage. This trade enhances that philosophy. When you have edge rushers like Phillips and the others lined up, the margin for error for opposing quarterbacks shrinks dramatically. Even a mobile, improvisational quarterback suddenly has less room to operate because the Eagles now have consistent threats coming from multiple positions. The secondary benefits too, because when the pass rush is effective, it allows defensive backs to play more aggressively, jump routes, and create turnovers without being exposed in coverage. Another key factor in this trade is the cost. The Eagles gave up a third-round pick in 2026, which in the grand scheme of things is a manageable price for a player of Phillips' caliber. They still retain other third-round selections, and even if things don't work out long-term, the compensatory pick system ensures they can recover value. In essence, the trade is low risk for high potential reward. It's a move that speaks to the long-term thinking of the front office while also addressing an immediate need. Howie Roseman has made a career out of finding value in situations like this, and this trade is another example of that philosophy in action. Looking at the NFC landscape, this move also positions the Eagles to not just compete, but dominate. The NFC is stacked with playoff-caliber teams, and home field advantage can be decisive. With tough matchups looming against teams like the Packers, Lions, Bears, and other contending clubs, having a pass rush that can disrupt elite quarterbacks becomes even more critical. Phillips is the type of player who can help tilt close games in Philadelphia's favor, creating opportunities for turnovers, critical stops, and momentum-shifting plays. The combination of experience, scheme familiarity, and athletic upside makes him an asset that the Eagles can rely on in high-stakes situations. Phillips' track record also adds confidence. When healthy, he has been a dominant force, posting impressive sack numbers and consistently generating pressure on the quarterback. His college pedigree, combined with experience under defensive-minded coaches, shows that he has the intelligence and technique to excel. He's a player who can contribute immediately and still has room to grow, making him a potential cornerstone for the Eagles' defensive identity. Age and contract considerations are favorable as well, meaning the team can extend his contract without breaking the bank, ensuring continuity in a key position. From a strategic standpoint, the Eagles' edge rotation now looks like one of the best in the NFL. You have multiple players capable of winning one-on-one matchups, multiple angles of attack on the quarterback, and a mix of youth and experience that allows for sustained pressure throughout the game. Opposing offensive coordinators now have a serious challenge when facing this defensive front. Matchup planning becomes complicated because any of these edge rushers can be in position to create havoc on a given play. It's not just about individual talent. It's about the collective impact. And then there's the psychological element. Bringing in a player like Phillips sends a message to the rest of the league. The Eagles are serious about repeating and maintaining dominance in the NFC. It's a declaration that they aren't just content with regular season success. They're building a team capable of sustained playoff runs and challenging for championships. When players see that the organization is willing to invest in defensive dominance, it sets a tone for culture, effort, and expectation. It's a move that resonates not just on the field, but throughout the locker room. In terms of scheme flexibility, Phillips' addition opens up new opportunities. The Eagles can shift him inside or outside, run different pass rush stunts, or adjust alignments without sacrificing performance. This flexibility makes the defense less predictable and more dangerous. A quarterback preparing for the Eagles now has to account for multiple threats, various angles, and different looks on consecutive plays. That kind of unpredictability can turn close games into decisive wins. Ultimately, this trade is about more than just filling a hole. It's about transforming the defense. It's about creating a unit that can consistently pressure quarterbacks, generate turnovers, and dominate the line of scrimmage. It's about improving situational football, short yardage defense, and red zone efficiency. And it's about building a team that can compete not just this season, but for years to come. Philadelphia has positioned itself as a defensive powerhouse, and Jaylen Phillips is a critical piece of that puzzle. Now that Philadelphia has solidified the edge with Jaylen Phillips, the conversation naturally shifts to what else Howie Roseman might be cooking up. The man never seems to rest, and the truth is, you can never rule him out. Since training camp, Roseman has been relentless, constantly tinkering, moving pieces, and adding value wherever possible. Trades for cornerbacks, running backs, offensive linemen, and now a top-tier pass rusher illustrate a front office willing to push every chip to the center of the table if it means giving this team a legitimate chance to dominate. It's almost a chess match, and Roseman is playing at a level few in the league can match. The Eagles' roster isn't just good. It's adaptive, flexible, and evolving with each transaction, which is a scary thought for any team preparing to face them in the coming weeks. Looking specifically at the offensive line, there's a name gaining traction among insiders and fans alike: Jackson Powers-Johnson. He's a guard who won the Remington Trophy in college, recognized as the nation's best center, and while the Eagles already have Cam Jurgens anchoring the line, there's room to upgrade. Tyler Steen has been serviceable but inconsistent, and a player like JPJ could inject immediate quality and depth. If Roseman sees an opportunity to bring him in, it could stabilize the right guard spot while giving the Eagles a versatile lineman capable of filling multiple roles. What makes him intriguing is that he's stuck on a struggling Raiders team, which can dampen a player's confidence and performance. Placing him in Philadelphia with Jeff Stoutland coaching could reignite his potential, turning a talented player in the wrong situation into a key contributor for a contending team. The tight end position also comes into focus. With Dallas Goedert potentially moving on after this season, The Eagles could look to develop the next generation of talent while simultaneously getting contributions immediately. Michael Mayer from Notre Dame is one player who fits this profile. He's athletic, a strong pass catcher, and has the blocking chops to be a versatile weapon in multiple personnel sets. Mayer could learn behind the current tight end rotation while occasionally contributing in 12 personnel packages, providing flexibility in the passing game without sacrificing protection schemes. David Andiku from the Browns is another candidate, particularly if the Eagles are targeting depth and developmental talent. These are calculated risks with upside, and they fit Roseman's philosophy of balancing immediate impact with long-term potential. From a strategic perspective, these potential moves reflect a front office thinking several steps ahead. The NFC is stacked, playoff races are tight, and every marginal improvement can swing a game or even a seeding battle. Upgrading the offensive line or tight end group isn't just about patching holes. It's about creating mismatches, improving quarterback efficiency, and providing additional options in both the running and passing games. A better line protects Jalen Hurts longer, opens lanes for the run, and gives the playmakers on the perimeter more space to operate. A versatile tight end creates mismatches for linebackers and safeties, giving the offense a tactical advantage that can change how defenses approach each play. Another layer to consider is the psychological impact of these trades. Bringing in high-caliber, motivated players sends a signal not just to the current roster, but to the entire league. It shows the Eagles are committed to winning now, but also building sustainable success. Players like Phillips or JPJ, when joining a team mid-season, aren't just evaluated for skill. They're evaluated for character, attitude, and how they mesh with existing leadership. The Eagles have consistently shown that they prioritize this balance, and the result is a locker room that can absorb new talent without disrupting cohesion. It's also worth noting how Roseman structures his deals. He rarely overpays in a way that compromises future flexibility. Third-round picks, compensatory selections, and strategic timing allow the Eagles to continuously refresh the roster without mortgaging the future. That approach gives them a competitive edge because they can strike when the market undervalues talent or when other teams are desperate to move players, all while maintaining a core group of proven contributors. It's why the Eagles have repeatedly positioned themselves as perennial contenders. You're not just watching a team react to the season. You're watching a front office actively shape outcomes, targeting specific needs with precision and foresight. Looking at the bigger picture, these moves aren't isolated. They're part of a pattern that reflects how the Eagles are approaching 2025 and beyond. It's about building depth, creating flexibility, and ensuring that injuries or underperformance in one area don't cripple the team. The edge rush, offensive line, and tight end improvements are all interconnected, creating a ripple effect that strengthens multiple facets of the team simultaneously. Opposing coaches now have to account for a defense capable of constant pressure, an offensive line that can handle complex blitz schemes, and skill players who can exploit mismatches at multiple levels. That kind of multi-dimensional roster is exactly what separates contenders from pretenders in today's NFL. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling through Philadelphia, and the Eagles fan base can hardly sit still. The latest chatter suggests that Tyreek Hill, the league's electrifying wide receiver, might just be the biggest signing in Eagles history. Sources close to the team hint that the front office has been working behind the scenes for months, doing everything possible to secure one of the most explosive playmakers the NFL has ever seen. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere possibility has already sent social media into a frenzy, with fans speculating about the record-breaking plays and highlight reels that could define the next season. Hill's reputation as a game-changer precedes him. His speed, agility, and uncanny ability to turn the smallest openings into touchdowns make him a nightmare for any defense. Eagles insiders are reportedly over the moon at the thought of pairing Hill with their already formidable offense. Imagine the chemistry on the field, the deep bombs, the jet sweeps, The end zone fireworks. Philadelphia could be staring at a revolution in the making. Coaches are rumored to be planning schemes tailored just for him, a sign of just how much this team believes he can reshape their identity. Of course, every rumor comes with a grain of salt. Negotiations, contracts, and the notoriously tricky salary cap are obstacles that can derail even the most promising deals. Yet the buzz around Philadelphia suggests that the Eagles are not just dipping a toe in the water, they're going all in. Fans are dreaming of a season where Hill's signature speed and flair could finally push the Eagles to the very top, turning every Sunday into a must-watch spectacle. As whispers turn into chatter and chatter into near certainty, one thing is clear. If Tyreek Hill does land in Philadelphia, it won't just be a signing. It could very well be a defining moment, a franchise-altering move that echoes for years. The city is holding its breath, and the NFL is watching closely, because the possibility of Hill in green and white could be the story that dominates headlines long before the first kickoff. Rumor or reality, one thing is undeniable. Philadelphia may be on the verge of its most thrilling chapter yet. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.